Babe, I have a little bit of bad news to share.
What?
You know how we were planning on crypto profits being what would be our investment into our RV lifestyle. Um,
Yes. Not
everything's gone really pear-shaped pretty much since the start of the year. All it's done is just go down, 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 down. So we've got to rethink some of our plans. We may not be able to go to the level of nice travel trailers, caravans at this point in time.
okay. Well, I guess there's always a reason for things. So maybe it's better anyway because I just don't know how we're going to go if we stay in Mexico and we want to go to Central America. How are we going to go with having a big trailer anyway, a big, a caravan slash RV, as people know them. I just don't know how that we could do that. I don't know that I would feel comfortable trying to drive that through very, very narrow streets of Mexico. And I'm sure Central America is exactly the same. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we really need to think about the rig that we are going to take. And maybe there's a reason why we haven't gone down the big coach, what do we call them? Motorhomes.
At home.
Yeah, motorhome. Maybe there's a reason why we're not going down that and not feeling that because we keep saying, well, it's because we don't have a car then to get around in. So the motorhomes are great, like fantastic setup, but when you're stopped, but if we're trying to drive around, how do we get around and see things? That's the whole point of this trip is to see different parts.
Well, I guess every RVer that we know, thanks to Mark and Julie with RV Love and all the different people we've been looking on, YouTube with and that, they
Yeah,
change their setups quite often. So
all the time.
it doesn't mean that we need to buy what we're going to buy now and it's like that's it, that's all we're going to
Forever.
have.
Well, now
So
forever.
no, and it's quite funny, like literally just before Sharon sent me a message saying, here, have a look at this motorhome.
Oh,
There's this lady, really nice lady that, I've met in this group and it's like 33,000 US dollars. And I'm like, oh, probably about 20 grand more than where we're at. She's like, oh, well, it doesn't hurt to dream. But it's quite interesting seeing that and even with her saying, oh, it doesn't hurt to dream, it's like I just don't know that we will ever really dream of a motorhome. I mean, it was really fun to go and have a look at that
yeah, well,
old one. And if we were going to have it just sitting in a really cool RV park and just go there every now and again and holiday, that would be fun. But as for
yeah,
the driving experience that we want to have, so I'm wondering if we could go back to kind of an SUV that still has a towing capacity that could be a little bit lower than what the Ram could do without thinking that this is the forever vehicle, towing vehicle, but
yeah.
maybe even to get down into South America, something that we could actually sleep in the back of if we needed to. I mean, we could go as far as maybe just having a tent. I don't know, like how how crazy do you want to go?
I've both done that before. I don't know. That was many, many decades. I was going to say years, actually. Holy crap. How old are we now? Yeah. So I think that's the thing we have to think about right now is what's the best camper for the job. Like we've obviously decided on having some sort of SUV come truck to get around in. So we need to unhook something. So
Yeah.
what is that thing that we're unhooking? So I think we need to go back and revisit what that looks like. That's less price, obviously, now. Thanks, Chris.
And crypto is not going to stay as dead as it is right now. It's just been really disappointing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just where we were probably, you know,
Well, banking on some of those
banking on,
or
hoping
either
for.
the truck or the trailer. But if that's not going to happen, then we really
Well,
do
it
need.
was going to be profits from the altcoins. I mean, Bitcoin is just killing it. I mean, we've already dealt with the mistake that we made at the end of 2023, swapping out the Bitcoin that we had into altcoins. We're paying for that. That's fine. But yeah, the Bitcoin that we have left, I'm going to explore borrowing against that because I mean, I guess the whole sort of idea of crypto is to unbank yourself, so that, not that we have anything to go to a bank with to get a loan with, but we might be able to play around with something. So I'll do the sums on that and just see where we get to. But in the last video, I did actually mention briefly about the hybrid that we were looking at, and quite often we've seen people on YouTube saying that they go from like camping in a full-on tent to say having like a pop-up trailer because they're very lightweight to tow, to then having like a hard-sided travel trailer like what we looked at as the hybrid, to then having, the full-on luxury style caravan travel trailer that we first started thinking we were going to be able to get. So maybe we just have to go back a notch. And I don't know, how do you feel? I don't know about the tent, but it'll be fine for Mexico, some parts in Central America, but maybe we look at the pop-up trailer, the pop-up caravan.
That would be the minimum I would go. I couldn't do tents again. That would just drive me nuts.
Showering is no issue for me, like, especially if you're near a beach, whatever else, showering either outside or in an amenities block. But yeah, I think the toilet within for the nighttime I don't want to have to go outside, like get dressed and go to an amenities.
I don't want a compass toilet in the tent either. So
well, I've got some floor plans of a couple of the pop-up campers. There's one that's a 2022 that's shown up on Facebook Marketplace. It's more expensive than probably what we should do, but depends on how we work out the finances. But then there's like a 2010 model. And I mean, you still have the toilet sort of in the pop-up because you're looking at a trailer, there's like that, and then it pops up to being full person height.
Yeah.
But it has got a toilet sort of block that you then put the lid, like the big sort of bench lid down over as well. So I don't even know how that would go.
But funny enough, they're probably the things that actually I'm resonating with right now, because we still get a bed off the ground. We've got cooking facilities and we're inside something that's not a tent and it's not on the ground. And I guess that's the other thing too, like having a tent in Mexico and Central America, there's scorpions and things like that around. Like I'm not overly fussed by being on the ground in Mexico. So
let me show you this one that's on Facebook. This is the expensive one. It's actually got a little slide, would you believe?
Oh my goodness. Is that a slide on a pop-up? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. So it has sort of storage. Wow. I mean,
so is that a veranda? No.
Not a veranda. It's more a toy hauler. So when it's all closed up, it would be sitting behind the vehicle. So that's the tow bar there.
That would be so fun.
Like we could put things on there.
Bikes and our kayaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a pretty schmick one. I mean, it is at 2022. It makes for a very big bed. I mean, I think this is a bit of an angle. I don't think it's quite that long.
It's pretty big.
So that pop out there is the dinette.
Yes.
And then it's got the second bed at the other end as well.
I like that. That's a good start.
So quite a big bed inside. Got curtains and everything. So the kitchen is still pretty cool. Hang on, let me show you.
Somewhere in there's a bathroom.
Yeah, somewhere there you go.
Oh, there's the dunny.
Yeah, it's like a full-on lid. And this curtain rail goes around so that you could actually stand and shower in it. Now, I think if we're staying in RV parks, I would go and have a shower in the amenities center, but in amenities block, but to at least have the toilet in there and be able to put the lid down.
That's hilarious. But yeah, it's an option. You can
still get a full screen door though.
That's pretty cool. That's really good. I like that. I could see myself in that.
But that's pretty tidy. I mean, that's actually probably slightly longer than what I towed when I had the camper trailer in Australia.
Like off the ground, so it's like got quite a bit of clearance, so that would be really good. Not that we're going off road, but definitely in crappy roads, then we'd be fine. That actually is really good. That
So
would.
this bed is a full residential queen, which is where the storage thing is at the front, and then this one's just a double bed. So they're definitely east-west laying. I mean, this one we could probably lay that way because you could have the feet overhang. But at the end of the day, if we need to, we've got a bed each. So
Yeah, I think that, and that gives us an extra space to work, and because we like to lounge around when we work. I actually really like that. That I could do. And that is a perfect setup for traveling anywhere in Mexico. We can go up to the mountains, we can get to the beaches easy enough, and we can get anywhere in Central America, I would imagine, and that sort of thing. That's actually really cool. I like it.
all right, here's the old cheap one.
Yeah, looks up.
So this,
She's an old doll. Oh, yeah,
so see these braces here?
Yeah.
You actually pick the handle up in the middle of the sink and the stove, and you lever it down so that it goes down to the floor, which means you don't have a lot of storage inside of the actual, like when you're traveling.
We're going to need extra storage stuff, aren't we? If we go down this line, there's not a lot of
Yeah, I mean, if
storage.
you think you got drawers, you got space underneath, you got all that, plus the back of the vehicle, whether it's the truck or whether it's the SUV. But yeah, there's definitely storage. But the same thing is like, coming down to this flat line, easy tow. It's only got a little bit of the.
Well, that's a small ATV there. Have a motorbike. I do like the other one better, and I know it's really a lot more expensive.
It's double the price.
Damn. Why do I have such quality tastes all the time?
Because you're an Aries.
I actually like that. I gel with that more than the whole caravan RV setup. And I think it's interesting to shift my mindset, and we both probably need to do this, from this is the setup, this is it, because that's sort of what it's like when you're in Australia, because you have to pay stamp duty on everything that you buy and sell, or buy, I think. And it just makes it really expensive. The whole process of changing vehicles is a pain in the butt in Australia. So I think because coming from that mentality, we tend to think, okay, this is my car for the next 10 years. But it doesn't need to be like that in Mexico because we don't have that. Rego is really cheap. Registration doesn't matter where you are. No stamp duty on things. You're literally just swapping in and out of vehicles whenever you want. So I think we do need to shift that mindset up a little bit and go, all right, for the next year even, traveling through Mexico, Central America, this is it. This is the setup that we have. And if something like that setup can actually be towed by a lighter vehicle, which we can get a better vehicle because it doesn't have to be so powerful, then I think that's really good. And if it maybe is an enclosed vehicle that, as you say, we can sleep in. So I'm envisaging that maybe we drop the trailer somewhere in an RV park and we've paid for a month or two, whatever, so we're getting cheaper rates. But then we go off for a day or two and go and look at things further away. So then we could sleep just in the back of the van. We can just grab the mattress out and sleep in the back of the SUV. Car. Then maybe that's really good. We could do that.
Let me just share one more thing with you.
Okay. I like these. Get excited seeing this.
Just to exhaust all options.
Oh my God.
Maybe if nothing else, just get the wheel cover. Home is where you park it. That's us.
Oh my God. This is looking very little.
So this is like a little custom built trailer. It actually has an air conditioner.
We've got a bed in there.
So you get a little outdoor kitchen.
Holy cow.
Got your extra jerry cans. And yeah, you could either sleep in there or it comes fitted. Hang on, let me find it. You can either have a rooftop tent or you can have one of those. Let me find it.
I cannot see a rooftop tent at night.
Plug-in tents at the back of it. There we go. So you put the tent on to the back of the trailer.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Okay. So that's a full tent set up on the back of the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's bizarre.
Yeah. A fair bit of setup. I'm sure that would take a bit more to set up than what the pop-up trailer would do.
Definitely. Yeah.
I definitely can't see us doing a rooftop tent.
Rooftop tents are out because I inevitably have to go to the toilet during the middle of the night. I'm not crawling down a ladder to do that. That's not happening.
Like that.
I draw the line. Blimey. Okay. Yeah, I can see the whole tent set up, but I just don't think I'm gelling with it.
Okay. All right, rule that one out.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we've ruled out motorhome. We've ruled out fancy travel trailer.
Yeah,
we've
I think we'll get to that, but I just don't think it's for now. Like practicality, like we could say in the storyline, yes, it's because of the finances. And I think that, to me, the finances story of crypto right now is showing up so that we reconsider what actually we should be moving into, and being a bit more realistic about the roads and the conditions and how we want to travel right now, rather than trying to, I think I can see what I'm doing is forethinking the next 5 years or 10 years about how we're going to have this set up. And it's like, it doesn't need to be that. It needs to change throughout our period of travel. So when we go to the US and Canada, then it will be a very different experience on the roads and the RV parks and the national parks that are available to us that we can camp in for 2 weeks at a time. We can't do that in Mexico. There isn't hardly any national parks. I'm not sure that we could even stay in there. We haven't investigated that anyway. And I wouldn't park on the side of the road. We would be in an RV park in Mexico and Central America. So given that, and given the road conditions and the narrowness of roads at times, then we need to travel differently, I think. So I think the money story is showing up to highlight that we reconsider how we're going to travel this part. So I'm happy with that. Like, I think that's great that that's shown up like that, and that at this stage, crypto is not going to pay for it. So, all right, let's get on with it and get money from somewhere else. We can do that easy.
All right. So we're just over 6 weeks till we actually move out of this house. And I can see for me, my stress has been around wanting to have at least one half of the equation so that we can move our stuff into and not have to do storage. But there are options. We can explore the Toby option because he's going to be going away. He might be able to store some of our stuff in his RV while he goes away for a few months.
Sure.
We could go to our friend's house, to Angelito and Neste's house, and put stuff in. I just don't want to have to be carting stuff around at the moment.
I know it's a pain in the butt for sure. It's but if it's just one extra move, then that is possibly doable if we don't have the vehicle by then.
But anyway, 14th of April, we're out of here. So just over 6 weeks.
I'm still in Australia. So that's so weird to go from here full on family life because we've just had the week away with everyone to now like, oh, Mexico, RVing, Jodie, that's right. Oh my God, there's my other life. It's very bizarre. Oh my God. So hopefully I'm out of here soon. Mum literally is at the heart surgeon right now talking to him this morning. So at this stage, we just have to see what he says. I think the open heart surgery will probably go ahead. That's what she's talking to him about.
But it's really good that you're all there for the news right now, like for her to, be seeing the specialist now. And
we're all
pushed for her to take the week away with everyone flying in from all over the place and putting the sort of surgery part off. But
yeah, so then it will just really come down to, I haven't even spoken to you about this. So it really comes down to when he actually says the surgery can go ahead. Like he'll be doing something by the sounds of it. So whether it's the full open heart surgery or he's just going to fix the artery that's blocked and do a couple of patch jobs, we don't know. But if it's coming up soon, then, Mandy, my sister, and was just saying, oh, would you stay? And I was like, crap, I didn't really think about that. It's like I really have to work that out. I've got a little bit of leeway, I know, from I don't have to race back home, but I can't stay forever either, because we are getting on the road. Like, as I said to Andrew, is like, it's not like we're moving from one house to another where somebody could just help us move stuff. We're actually selling everything to work out what we need and really downsizing. So it's a pretty big operation, and I don't want you doing it on your own. And yeah, we'll need to be there at some stage. So it's a real juggling act right now from this side of things to work out how long. But
Look,
anyway, I will find out when Mum gets home today about what's happening. So I can't make a decision until then.
And I'm sure that this house is not going to sell, you know, just the day after we leave or anything like that. So if we need to extend this place as a storage, I mean, we've obviously got the house set for 2 weeks. We could always just pay for a couple of weeks just to leave everything here until we get back for those couple of days, and then pack everything up before we go to the next house sit.
True. Anyway, we'll make it work. I'll find out what's going on with Mum when she gets home. We'll make a decision then. I'll talk to you about that, and then we'll make a decision about coming home. But otherwise, I'll be home leaving on Sunday. So I'll be back Sunday.
The plans keep evolving. We're just, good job we're flexible and fluid and all that.
You really have to be. It's ridiculous. But I think it's good, because approaching the, you know, you could freak out about the money thing and go, crypto's gone belly up, whole thing has to shift and change, and like, we have to put it off. And it's like, no, we're still doing it. So why is how is the crypto story right now helping the storyline of this? And I do think it's to change up the rig a little bit and look at it quite differently. So I think it's a good thing, because otherwise we may not have questioned it. We might have just gone ahead with the van, and it wouldn't have been the best thing for the travel that we want to do. If we had more money, we'd probably go and spend it on something bigger, and that's probably not the right thing to do. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll let you go and get on with your day. Give my love to everybody, and we shall talk again soon. As soon as you hear from Mum, let us know.
Yeah, I will, definitely.
Okay.
Bye for across the miles.
So in the next video, we'll be back together. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed next week. Otherwise, I'll be just sitting here again.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
I'll be sitting there. All righty. See you, baby.